afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacaster. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on a lost glider. The area where the glider truly got lost. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's right now on to Moscow Winter. The 1 vs 1 map, which is now a 2 vs 2 map. On the north, though, it's CN fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 5th SS Panzerdivision Viking West in the south. It's Talisman, the one, the only Talisman, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 10th Mechanized Corps. We got Overwatch, Luftwaffe, and Spec Ops here with Triple Infantry versus Urban Defense, got Motor, and got Rifle with Sniper, Guardsman, and Mine Bullets and Zero Special Rifle Command side here for Talisman versus the Oberkommand West. Very much standard stuff there to defeat the fascist foe. Seeing here on a bit of an aggressive move, though apparently Sturmpioneers got a bit lost. Need to check with the map. Centre forwards, Fulska's moving up, 3rd squad's going to move eastward. So, interesting opening. I mean, what he's clearly his aim for, actually what he's really doing is waiting with the Sturmpioneers to his opponent up to grab the fuel point, and then he rushes in the Sturmpioneers to then sort of surprise them up close. And exactly there, as you can see, and he can do that simply because, and I'm just going to very briefly pause this, sort of highlight it if I can. Get it done here. Well, it's too late now, but in theory, what you do is you pay attention to the map, the mini-map. It sort of, blinks up there. You can sort of see there or here better. It'll sort of blink up like that when someone else is capturing, and that's basically there what the scene was waiting to happen on the mini-map. So rather than just stand there, which case opponent can try and shoot out there, instead he moves in, rushes in, while the engineers are standing about them, while he might be managing other things, and then disrupts there the fuel point. Sort of grabbing there. So, bit of a clever there play by CN, and again, in my case, sorry for not being able to show it as well there, but I wanted to sort of highlight what he was doing there. That's sort of, one of these, shall we say, smaller, smarter maneuvers, higher skilled players might do. And again, it's just paying attention to the min-map. Is someone actually capturing it, but just paying attention to the very edge of the territory they can sort of spot on the min-map and then see, right, is the opponent actually seizing it or not? Also worth noting is capping orders yet to be interesting. Most players will go straight for the fuel point, but he's actually securing all the territory around the fuel point before they're nabbing it. Probably because these, roughly give sort of the same amount of fuel plus munition in this, but at the same time, they're a bit safer. They're not quite as easily exposed. But there you go. Scout car with penal troopers straight for the fuel point here. Returning the favour there to creative name, but there you go. CN is moving up here for the Coh2 one there. Further putting pressure on Talisman, though Talisman, of course, is doing the exact same thing there. More folks coming to this. 9 anti-tank weapons here for CN in the early game versus that Scout car. A bold move here by CN, and certainly looking to be a very different type of opening here. In some ways, at least. I would more say from the Oberkommand West perspective, because usually, again, they'd be much more aggressive in reacting to this, but so far, CN is trying to play his best without really, to an extent, acknowledging it in a sense, I would say. Though, of course, Talisman is very much determined as all hell to ensure he does pay attention to it. Scout car then moving up to deal with the Sturmpioneers. Fulska's firing away there as well. Just like a girlfriend has been spending all night preparing for that evening out, and then the boyfriend doesn't pay attention if she wants him to, make a blind compliment. Talisman wants CN to actually, react to it and deal with it. So, I mean, shame on you, creative name. You gotta, compliment Talisman when you put all that effort into that scout car with penal troopers in it. You cheeky fellow. Anyways, more full scanners. Wow, alright, CN has just gone straight off the deep end here, and he's going for a 5 full scanner build. You actually don't see that very often. I mean, 5 full scanners is absolutely astronomically bananas. So, I mean, this is very interesting because, again, while full scanner spam is actually common, 5 full scanner spam is actually, sort of uncommon. It's like there's some sort of, just unspoken rule. You only go for 4. If you go for 5, you've done something very naughty, mister. But CN here is actually committing to a 5 full scanner build here versus Talisman, who's got 3 penal troopers and 5. Oh, and the scout here, quick fixing up, flamethrowers on the way there. We'll have to see how he handles that. Truck filling up there for CN. And this is going to have to be a battle group headquarters because he's going to have a lot of healing here to back up his full scanner ideas. Otherwise, he's going to be bleeding out a lot and losing a lot of men. Still, he's been able to consistently deny Talisman a fuel point here. Very nice. Pilms are taking losses from the Volksgrenadiers. In the east, we got Volksgrenadiers bring up here towards the eastern point there. And this also means, of course, CN is now getting a fuel advantage over Talisman and quite nicely piling in, also just due to that early harassment move. Scout car going straight for these isolated Volksgrenadiers. Good move here. It could try and disrupt CN's, shall we say, main move, but instead, looking for more weaker isolated units that CN can't easily protect, move in, say, cover up the retreat path on is a much better move here, and increases Talisman's chance of actually getting wiped. In this case, he decides not to. That, of course, mine here. He's hoping to catch a scout car on that one way or the other. Eastern fuel they're about to hit by Talisman's penal troopers. So far, no sign of doctrine from any player. And the battle group headquarters should may soon be up, but there you go, full retreat. And we got the doctrinal choice here for Talisman is the venerable guard motor doctrine. He's going to have added. Troops are reinforcing. Battle group headquarters almost done. And Storm Pioneers is going to try and bait it into the scout car. Can it work? And could he risk setting off the mine on his own men? Oh dear, has Talisman actually sort of caught on to it? I mean, it is kind of, to an extent, obvious what he's trying to do here. So there's a possibility it might be just that Talisman is seeing from him. Talisman is a very experienced, veteran player. So it's very likely that Talisman's kind of seen, hang on, he's mined this spot, the cheeky devil. He's got the Volksgrenadier squad here, so that's the first swap here against CN. Pulling back the scout car. I mean, it could be he just didn't care, but it's also possibly again just all this, just coincidence, But again, it could also be just, forgot. Oh, for just a brief moment there was a mine. We'll have. I mean, we probably won't ever know. Penal swimming eastwards here. Bit of loss there for the scout car. That gives CN's Volksgrenadiers a lot more momentum, since the scout car was kind of one of their primary threats. So of course, with the Panzerfaust off. Anyways, it didn't particularly matter. Talisman here laying down on his own mines. In fact, using the scout car's wreckage to then funnel his opponent. In fact, he's even used as bait. You might notice that it's actually quite close. So if CN goes, hang on, this would make for some great salvage. He's hit the mine, takes some losses, and destroy the wreckage in the process, just utterly ruining CN there. So that's actually kind of clever. That's the point there from Talisman. Obviously, again, I can't read minds. If I could, I'm pretty sure I'd be doing something a lot more profitable than this. But anyways. Folks, they're pushing straight for the car point. Penal trooper standing in the east. But I can guess, I can make assumptions. Flak after they've seen to help deal with Talisman's infantry. They'll likely force more guardsmen, possibly a few anti-tank rifles on the penal troopers. We shall see. A lot of back and forth here though. Fuel points now being harassed, of course, consistently by both sides. Folks, they're catching the penal troopers out in the bad spot there. Small tactical edge there for CM, but Talisman, of course, going to move up here on the less broad side. In fact, the side where there's no windows on, we can just shoot through the walls. Tank command up there for Talisman, very good, recapturing the car point there, focus on the fuel point. Storm Pioneers wing about. Pilms are rushing past, in this case, can actually then salvage it without setting off the mine. If that is what he's intending. Pilms are dealing with the Volksgrenadiers, quite good. In the east, Volksgrenadiers versus Penal Troopers. Penal Troopers winning that one out as well, though. Talisman so far, I would say, is fighting very economically against CN. He's not finding any engagements he can't win, so we're just looking to find engagements he can win, which is generally how I want to do it with the Soviets. Tank return command up. He won't be able to get anything out of it right away. And there you go, the real retreat into the mine, setting it off and destroying the wreckage. Either way, the wreckage gone. Storm Pioneer is dead. Obviously, it would have been better if you sort of used it as bait, but I mean, whatever works here is obviously the right thing. I mean, he'll likely go for the T-70 particular with the flak half tag out, though he could go for the H-6 for double a bit of artillery as well here versus CN. MD-34 Kedna for CN obviously wants to help contain Talisman's penal troops and also guardsmen, because Talisman is not going to just go for one guard squad. In fact, on average, players if they go for guard squad at least minimum get 2, and could easily end up with 3, particularly if they take any penal trooper losses. In that regard, having a machine gun, which is less of a target to the anti-tank rifles, is a pretty good idea. Penal versus Volksgrenadiers in the west. Bit of skirmishing here over a dead cow. All troops around here for Talisman to deal with this threat. Securing the centre there as well. Arcadnev almost down there for CN. Obviously, Talisman doesn't really like the Eagles out now, but he's likely to get them, so having Arcadnev ready is usually not a bad idea. Fighting these two engineers straight into the flak half track there with its 2cm flak cannon, immediately halting Talisman engineers' advance on CN's fuel point there. Arcadnev out. Fox is falling back here to buy time in the west as CN launches another assault here in the centre with the 5th SS Panzerdivision Viking, initially an SS division established for Scandinavian volunteers, but sort of, I think, roughly halfway through the war, they actually began shifting the Scandinavian volunteers, at least the most of them, towards the 11th SS Panzer Division, trying to make the 5th more of a Germanic division. Fun fact. They would still have a small complement of Danes and Norwegians here and there. Penal troops Volksgrenadiers here. Got the point here, gunpowder incoming fire. Here in the centre, the Guardsmen slowly being outmaneuvered here by CN's Volksgrenadiers. Sturmpanzer going for the calf point. We'll have to see how long Talisman can retain a position in the church. They almost got the machine gun with them. That's pretty good. Reinforcement healing here. Tank command. Standing still. He can soon go for the T-70, but the fuel point has been cut off there. Nice work by CN. And another push here for the fuel point by Talisman with his engineers. He's not the type to give up. And here the penal troopers are slowly bleeding out the Volksgrenadiers. Guardsmen finally evacuate the centre. Sturmpanzer retreat from the calf point. No doctrine yet here for CN and the 5th SS Panzerdivision Viking. Another fun fact about the Scandinavian SS volunteers, they actually made up the large majority of them, despite being, you know, the smallest of the 3 Scandinavian countries, at least geographically. So that's another little fun side note there. And in fact, Danes were the ones that gained the largest number of Knight's Crosses. In fact, I think they're the only ones of the Scandinavians to get Knight's Crosses, 3 of them in total. People swimming eastwards, T7 away there for Talisman. Strength for flak half tech, quickly suppressing 1 squad. Guards running ahead here, DP light machine guns ready, and there you go, machine gun occupying the church, providing a bit of obstacle there for Talisman's Guardsmen. Grenade off, and there you go. Bit of damage, but nothing crucial. Going here for the eastern fuel point. Victory point being seized by the Volksgrenadiers, noting here the Talisman has a, well, more or less equal spot there. CN does have the lead over Talisman a bit. T-70 almost done here for Talisman and the 10th Mechanized Corps. Lots of action going on here, not a dull moment. Peons of the Volksgrenadiers, assault rifles on the way there for CN's troops ever so slowly and steadily. Lots of them being blasted to bits by the penal troopers in the east. Guardsmen engineers going up here to defend the fuel point. T-70 has arrived as well. Over here, penal troops ironing up, looks out to the Volksgrenadiers. Flak half taking pushed back by the Guardsmen, buttoning up and firing their anti-tank rifles a bit, putting them down to half health. Talisman, of course, here proving to be a quite formidable opponent for CN. Whereas, despite, you know, heavy infantry start, actually begin to already suffer losses, then it's, you know, not quite had the immediate successes he might have hoped for versus Talisman. He can begin taking up now for the Schwerer Panzer quarters, getting out something a bit heavier, which I don't think necessarily would be better here as a Talisman. As for Talisman, he's obviously A, keen on trying to get fuel for himself, and more importantly, deny it to his opponent, which is over what you'll want to be doing anyways. Back here, troops healing reinforcing for Talisman. Tank command standing silent still. Western fuel point secured. Fulton's there by the western side of the church. Up here, healing reinforcement for CN. Truck on the way, this is going to be going for the tech now. Talisman's forces it out for another assault, moving for the centre. And CN assembles here for local counterattack in the east to reclaim the eastern victory point. He's also anticipating that T-7 is going to be there, so he's keeping the Kednev there, hiding up as well. But so far, Talisman is seemingly more than happy to concede that one in case of a larger move there. More infantry moving in here, and plus a machine gun to stop Talisman's western movements as well. Does leave the car port actually open, so that could be something they could rush if he decides to. Though, of course, if he realises how much CN is committed to the eastern side, it's a bit hard to say. But there you go, Garden hitting the dirt, ultimate force way there by the flak half track. Centre victory point secured, and there he goes, going to move for the cup, and then with the penal troopers forcing to intercede, T-7 moving eastwards. We got the penal inside the house there to support. So there you go, push for the calf point, folks inside the house they're occupying and covering up, and we got another folks support there. Penals will take man losses, flak half tackling up here to help deal with the penal troopers. But, oh, there we go, folks are blocking, ensuring they cannot grab the territory. That's going to be a treaty for Talisman pretty fast. But there you go, T-70 rushing in here, taking advantage of the flak half tech pointing elsewhere, bypassing the Kednev and not putting to deal with that one, since that one got outmaneuvered. Nice work there by Talisman. A swift and very effective disruptive move there against his opponent, catching CN there rather off guard, ensuring that he might actually have a good chance now of gaining map superiority against his opponent. Nicely played there, and certainly a bit of fortunate development there for CN, who needs to work hard there to regain map control if he's not Otherwise, you risk getting steamrolled there by Talisman. But of course, it's likely going to, as soon as possible, again, churning out endless numbers of T-3045s to grind CN to a fine paste. Flag capture there, veteran T1 4 kills. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Engineers, guardsmen setting out and grab the point up north. All victory points under control of Talisman, giving him the lead over CN now. Schwer punted, quartering up here to cover the victory point, or the fuel point and the carve point. Should make it a bit easier for CN to defend some of his territories. Meanwhile, though, he has to keep it safe then. He just got the Volkskrieger, I think, accidentally retreating in this situation does not help. It actually leaves the Schwer punted quarters more exposed as it is most vulnerable. T-Sun westwards here, clearing up whatever CN's there. In fact, CN's efforts are struggling quite a bit here. He's going to need some armoured support and other bits that I think have a good chance. Maybe consider a light infantry gun to bombard some of Talisman's position. I think could be a good idea.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
And otherwise, deal with that T-Sun because that one is definitely a massive thorn in CN's side here at the moment. Kenworth joining in there, comes the T-70 landing a good hit there. Second hit as well there, T-70 almost down, but will be able to escape. Appeals they're going for the flank here on the Kenworth, but they're stopped by a Storm Pioneer squad covering set flank. Very good work there. Flak half technique. So he's got orbital down here for CN, so he's going to head back into 6 infantry squads. Again, a large number of infantry, but certainly could put pressure on the Talisman, who's got 5 himself. So CN here knows certainly the importance of infantry, which is actually crucial. I do think some players underestimate just how crucial infantry is at times to the chance of actually winning this. So both sides here will be very heavy in infantry. There we go, orbs loading out there. Should have the LMG-34 as soon as possible. There we go. Still no doctrine here from CN, though. Could also theoretically have gone for special operations and the infrared assault rifles. I mean, considering the map has a lot more closer quarters and heavy cover, it could be quite effective for CN to consider. Luftwaffe ground forces could maybe ultimately Fallschirmjägers, Vanguard assault, airborne assaults, and I guess the Overwatch doctrine could work, but so far not something there from CN. Pushing there for the fuel point, CN is trying to regain initiative here as a Talisman and seems to be working quite well at it. Talisman can begin taking up and probably should consider moving up the tech tree soon. He could also, with the manpower floating, consider fuel cache to further assist in armoured supremacy over the Hitlerite scum. There you go, mines tempted here, but stopped by the guys around the church, getting a good line of sight. Grenades off here. Flank half down to half of the anti-tank rifle of the guards will do quite a bit of damage. And these two pillars will push back the Fulton units, almost taking out the entire unit. There we go, mechanised armour company up there for Talisman. It will be a bit of what time before we get a T-3045. He might go for a T-3476 first, just to get some sort of tank out in the field. Meanwhile, CN though is not far off from a tank of his own. Oh dear, mine went off there, killing up units of squad on retreat, leaving Talisman short one of that. He could again consider just going for another guard squad to make up for the loss of the penal troopers. Here versus CN, we'll have to see that what he's ended up with. Finally, west, we got the Orbison versus the penal troopers out in the open. The penal troopers are very much easy targets here for the mighty Obersoldaten. And there you go, mines as well, just in case of more mines from CN. Mechanized armor company are done. And could go for the T-3476 now. But I imagine here that Talisman is anticipating his opponent will be going for... Yep, he called in another guard squad, by the way. Gives him a lot of anti-tank rounds to deal with medium armor as he stalls them for the T-35. At which point he can then begin pushing hard back against the Panzer IV there, which I imagine is what CN's going to go for. I mean, he could go for the Panther instead, anticipate, okay, I'm up against Guards Motor most likely, go for a Panther and then deal with that instead. But he goes for the Panzer IV here. CN feels the urgent need for Panzers, and so does not wish to delay. Moving up the centre here, we got 307 versus 347. The 2 point lead still remains in the hands of Talisman, but CN is keeping up there with his opponent. Mines being laid down over Talisman, very good. Very good. Guardsmen thought the church slowly bleeding out, and these T-Sims going to move up there. Could, well, not really threaten the fuel point. There we go, Guardsman being routed. We got a big push there into the centre by CN now. Orbison unfortunately flanking in here from this side to try and put more pressure on the church position, which is slowly crumbling with just engineers now holding it. They're not going to do well there. Fulton's caught with the T-7 routed, grab the eastern victory point. And there you go, first medium panzer on the field here is the Panzer IV for CN. Talisman is not far off from the T-3045. Pindlemark machine being added to the Panzer IV. Mines go off. And other mines are being spotted here and swept. More mines going off. Lots of mines being laid down there by Talisman. He's been mining the sandbags. There we go. Almost wiping the entire Fulton squad. 295 is a 370 is moving in here. Panzer IV moving eastwards to back up the Fulton against the Guardsman. Very good decision made by CN, who still doesn't have a doctrine in his mind. It seems. T-35 there on the way though for Talisman. That will certainly give him something to punch back with at the T-35, or the Panzer IV. And also give CN a bit more of a hard time. We shall have to see how CN reacts to the arrival of a T-35, though he obviously should be slowly beginning to anticipate it. Or regret he didn't. Push here for the centre, Kedden of the spot, it pushed back, Orbison holding up cover, Panzer IV nearby, of course got the flak after as well, making it very difficult for Talisman to make an assault here with the T-70 through the centre, and obviously pulling back there's the right decision, but I think he's trying to tie down CN's armoured forces, then try and flank it with the T-35. He could attack head on, but that would be kind of the silly option. Nice work there, flanking from the west side of the cemetery, using the church and then outmaneuver CN's positions inside the cemetery. And again, he could then do the same thing on the right side with the T-35. And then once CN's attention is sort of split to the sides of the cemetery, and then push in with infantry for the centre. That's kind of what's happening now. Panther had aggressive. In fact, he made a bit of a mistake there, honestly, CN. And Talisman here could punish CN there for slightly awkward Panzer move there. Go direct hit, but oh, looks like here the rather the Fulton was actually turned the tide here for CN, damaging the engine. The T-35 allowing the Panther IV just get away from the T-35 no matter what. So ends up being a good move there for CN. Good work. Penal troopers engaging the Fulton, securing the centre victory point. Western 1 being reclaimed there by CN. Panzer IV closing in on Veterans 1. Penal troopers there being shot to bits. Almost got a wipe. There's been unpleasant artillery raining down. T-35 being fixed. T-7 moving westwards. Halfway to Veteran 3 on that one. Very good. But Kednev and number 2 on the way there for CN and the German army. All of a sudden, folks moving up, backed up by the Kednevers. T-70 moving on from the west towards the centre. Focusing mine losses, and there you go. Orbison getting blasted out by the T-70. Panzer IV, close to Veterans U1. Can soon go for another Panzer IV. He could, of course, go for a Panther. Meanwhile, those going for a signal Kevin no matter what. Caught here in the centre, button up, and there you go, flanked with the T-35. Nice hits, there you go, into tank rifles, quickly chewing through the health of the Panzer IV. Though technically an armoured skirt Panzer IV, they would have been very safe from the anti-tank rifles, since the armoured side skirt protected against those shots from the sides. Of course, from the front, the anti-tank rifles did not stand a chance in the actual war. McKenna close being wiped out. Garton pushed out of the church with the incendiary grenade tossed through the windows. Panzer IV down to half health still, and Lassie needs to fall back soon. Garton then heavy cover, using hit the dirt. There's proving to be a bit of a problem there for the Panther. When they go main gun out, T-55 could try and go for it, but there's the Fulton in the way with the Panther fast, threatening that. There we go, almost got the flak half track, forcing retreat of the Kedden crew. Big fight in the center, there you go, Kedden forced away, T-70 joining in, trying to take that Kedden crew out. We got another one creeping up through the smoke. And there you go, opening up here on Talisman's armoured forces. Finally forcing Talisman to call it off rather than continue the effort in the centre. Orbison moving up here, good public grenade here. There you go, into the church, cut the guardsman. Ooh. got the unit almost wiped. That was really close one there for Talisman. He popped them back in. They're losing only 3 men rather than all 5. That was really close. The victory points wise, Talisman continued to enjoy the lead OCN, but it is slowly depleting once more. So CN can soon go for another Panther again. He could go for the Panther. There's also option C, which is to try and stall for a King Tiger. Though in the current circumstances, I would not find that wildly advisable. As for Talisman, I imagine as soon as possible he's going to just bring up more T-35s. In this regard, the battle plan is reasonably straightforward. Get a lot of T-35s out there, and then of course roll the enemy down. Flag after everything repairs, closing emergency 3, Panzer warming up the centre. Seizing the eastern victory point. Shot fired, bounce off the Panther 4 side armor, Panther 4 returns to the hit, misses. Focusing as the guns inside the house, still grabbing the point back. Interesting enough, he's not putting a lot of pressure anymore on the left flank of the map. I do feel like there's perhaps a bit of an oversight there by CN. It is making it easy for Talisman to focus his forces and concentrate them against CN. That's certainly something you should be careful about. It does look like he's going to go for the Panther. He's got the fuel, he's almost got the manpower, in which case he can out the Panther and then begin hurting Talisman's T-35s more effectively. So he's got the resources, he now just needs to press the button. Meanwhile, Talisman's bringing up another T-35, so CN needs to be fast about this before his one Panther 4 gets swarmed by the T-35 and then taken out. Before then has a Panther out to back it up. But so far, CN is not going for it. Is he truly going to try and stall for the King Tiger now? That would, again, definitely not be high on my list of recommended actions to take in these circumstances. T-35 almost done here. Troops healing reinforcing. Troops standing about there. And he goes for another Panzer IV. I mean, that's fair enough, I guess. But honestly, with an opponent's going to just keep churning out T-35s, I would figure a Panther would be higher on the priority list than another Panzer IV. Well, that's just me. But anyways, another Panzer IV there for CN and the 5th SS. Still no sign of Jockson there from CN, to be honest. I mean, we are almost at the half an hour mark and he still hasn't chosen anything. That's usually a bit more worrying sign. Comparatively, Talisman is now, I think, almost using the entire docks. And I haven't seen him use vehicle repair. I promised it. But he's now gone for Immortus, Guardsman, T-35s. And definitely use marked vehicle. And again, if you use vehicle repair, I mean, again, it's just full doctrinal bingo. Comparatively, CN hasn't even chosen a dock as a Talisman. That's definitely a bit of a difference there. Another truck for CN. So after the second Panther IV, he will try and stall here for the King Tiger. Obviously, 2 Panther IVs can do it, but still, there's an opponent who will just be churning out T-35s. It could arguably still be a bit of a risky maneuver here by CN, to be honest, and not quite as safe as we'd like it to be. Because if Talisman then hits critical mass with T-35s, the Panzer IVs will struggle definitely. Victory points wise, we've got 218 versus 293. Talisman is still enjoying a nice lead here over CN. A very nice lead. Church on the air fire from Talisman, of course, now enjoying the arrival of his heavy mortar here. Versus CN. Finding the center, looking to push back. T-70 at the ace level, 14 kills. Panzer IVs roaming about, keeping them together. Of course, is a very good idea, since otherwise he just risks one Panzer IV isolated, gets swarmed by the T-35, in which case he's down to just one, at which point he is likely in a lot of trouble. There he goes, pushing the westwards here, going for the T-35 of the Panther IVs. Quick calling mark on one of the Panther IVs, taking hits here from the Panther IVs. One shot misses, one penetrates. Pulls back here. At least he's, I guess, slowly pushing towards the west, but I feel like he would be a bit more active there. T-70 with a kidnappers, aircraft crashing down here into a nearby house. shot down by the Schwer Panther quarters. Nice work there by CN. And the German arm. Oh, flak after the straight ahead to the line of fire, the T-45. That one take it down actually. Yeah, shoot down the aircraft. There you go. Lost the flak after, and then a bit of loss there for CN. Truck is out. Shut up that mechanized regiment soon then. (213 versus 226). Talisman back to putting the bleed here on CN and the German army. Panzer was the T-45. MD-34 hanging back. Troops are healing, reinforcing for CN. Artillery raining down here around the Obersoldaten. Bit of quiet now actually. I imagine in part because CN is probably trying to figure out his next move, whereas Talisman is trying to figure out CN's next move, since again Talisman's got most of the map, he's got the victory points. So I mean, he just needs to predict what he's doing and then trying to counter the best as possible, and then try and finish him off if possible. Whereas he needs to come up with a good move that throws off Talisman, allowing to destroy some of his units, and then sort of push for a bigger victory. Smokes in the centre there from Heavy Mortar, very nice work there by Talisman by the way. That's really taking the minute towards the centre victory point, in the east point here being secured. But in the centre here is being routed here by the arrival of Talisman's forces. Leaving here with 196 now versus the 276 of Talisman. Getting a bit of difference between the two sides. Lots of arcade there for their T-45 falling back. Panther moving ahead here. Panther taking great hits between the engagements between the two tanks. T-45 is all down to roughly half health. Being pushed back out and down from the side of the house here, making it a bit harder here for CN to push his Panther forward. And we finally got the drop to trust for CN. It is Luftwaffe ground forces. Honestly, I wasn't anticipating at this stage because honestly, the Luftwaffe, we kind of want at least a bit sooner to get some fighting makers out and other stuff. But here we are. Lightly chosen. Just the airborne assaultman. He's going to miss out on most of the other doctrine, which I would say is a bit of a shame since the rest of the doctrine is kind of good. Well, that's just me. I'll wait. Securing territory in the south. Directly in the Panther, but the T-45 got marked as well here. Garden being blasted. T-45 rolling back. We'll have to see if he goes for some self-repairs to speed things up. I mean, he only really has... Oh, he has to turn his course, doesn't necessarily need it. So, 32-minute mark. Grenades off. We got 194 versus 276. They go T-45 in the Panther 4 here. T-70 joining in with 14 kills. The Kedem hits on the T-45 is going to force that one back. T-70 needs to retreat as well soon. He can actually soon go for another T-45 with some of the losses he's suffering. Versus CN. We are Mannion again. He's just stalling for the King Tiger now. He's putting all of his hopes on it. But the Kupstall Savior will bail him out. Panther versus the T-45. Now they're hitting on the T-45. T-70 being fixed up. Engaging in the south. But that is quickly stopped. This CN obviously does not want to fight the engagement since he's got no damage in the tanks with this folks don't use in any critical manner. Well, Mortify, Panther 4 good to go. They're betting 2. 21 kills, not bad at all. Garson routed here with the double Panther force in the west. A bit more movement here from CN again, finally, but there's also a lot of mine from Talisman. He's been mining a lot here versus his opponent. Really good move, to be honest. Push with us to some point. We got a penal troop squad, in fact, his remaining one. Oh, not his remaining one, there's another one here with anti-tank rifles as well. And we got Mark who's in the Panther force again, need to fall back here. Could be a bit of a blow that seems to lose his Panther 4 now. And the aircraft crashing down this time. They're not taking a house with it. Folks, they're being pushed back. We got the T-70 westwards. 15 kills in the centre. Panther 4 being cleaned out by anti-tank rifles. Seeing though it's not really sort of, I think, making any sort of huge headway though. It's mostly just seeming at times just pushing forward straight for the centre with his tanks, but with no infantry support for them, any artillery support for that matter, making it easier for Talisman to deflect the attacks. Second Panther 4 getting better too. That should help a bunch here versus Talisman. At least versus the infantry, less so versus the tanks. There's no reasonable easy to hit anyways. T-54 moving towards the centre, Garson back in the map. 194 versus 251. Buchanan land several hits from the T-45. Half rate to Veteran 3, Panther for the alter half rate to Veteran 3. Need to fall back though. As Talisman does not let out the counter-attack, he is mercilessly pummeling Sin here in the centre. I do feel like Sin could stand to be a bit more active and aggressive rather than as defensive as he is now. T-54 6 flying up here for Talisman. So he wants more tanks but can't afford another 85, so he goes instead for the lower caliber T-34 6, so that way put pressure on CN with more armour. CN though is slowly approaching the King Tiger. He's almost got the fuel, he's almost got the manpower, but he may not have enough population actually to make room for it then. Guarding goes the advancing foot grenadiers. Back up Panther full sail, the foot is taking heavy loss here from the guardsmen. And there you go, grenade and turn the guardsmen, forcing retreat here. Tanks now we need to be seen for Talisman's guardsmen. And we got a third Panther force. So seeing all of a sudden decides not to stall for the King Tiger. That's a curious decision in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I can understand the logic of it, but when you then consider he's been so long stalling for the King Tiger, it still seems a bit off. But anyways, triple Panther force here versus Talisman, who's got his T-54 6 out as well. Meaning we're looking at triple mediums versus triple mediums. In this situation, I imagine CN's priority in the tank engagement between, the tanks would be to target down the T-34 6 fast as possible and deal with that one. And then the T-35 should be outnumbered, at which point you can then deal with them sort of more leisurely. Closing mention fleet. So yeah. Sudden decision there by CN. Triple Panzer IVs. I mean, he could actually go possibly for fourth one. Though he needs to lose a few more units, I think. But still, it wouldn't be impossible. It would not be impossible. And there we go. Talisman is coming here for an armoured push. 3 T-34s, 176 and 285s with a bit of infantry support as well. That's going to make a hard swing, it looks like, for the east. More guards coming up, and some of them move up to deflect here against CN's assault. And there you go. In fact, he might end up just swinging the tanks up behind CN's push here to outmaneuver them, or just strike eastwards. He's seemingly pushing them back anyways. A few options here for Talisman. It seems like he's trying to weigh his options right now versus CN. Oh, got a wipe there. Looks like he is now seemingly deciding to swing back towards the centre here, though again he could push hard east here and then swing up behind CN's position in the cemetery and take out one isolated panzer in the process. And it's in fact a bit bold move here by CN tank to keep his panzer forward there, isolated on the right flank, but he could easily get outmaneuvered and then done by a lot more tanks. And there you go. Looks like he's going to go for that tank though. I do feel like he's made a mistake in not trying to get up a bit further closer to get behind, but there you go. So he's using the T-34 to actually ram the Panther 4. I mean, he's got the resource to actually replace it, I guess, so it makes sense, but still seems a bit bold. And there you go, Panther 4 out of control. T-34 is, by the way, still alive. Although T-34 for Panther 4 is a pretty good trade there for Talisman, particularly when he needs to replace it. Panther 4 are going for the T-35s, both Veteran 2. One is closer to the ace level. Panther 4 going in here, Veteran 2. Almost close to Veteran 3, but there you go. Takes so many hits here. Ace T-35. Oh. Here, like holding up here. Almost Ace Panther. Oh, Veteran 3, Panther 4 here. Ace T-34 backing off. Some intense fighting here between CN and Talisman. We got Valiant as well to back up the armor with some swift infantry movement. Not bad, but now Talisman is trying back here with all of his guardsmen and other elements. T-34 moving back in as well here. Trying to pop in some extra sneaky shots here versus CN's Panther 4s. Will CN go for the King Tiger now? Will he try to go for the Panther versus the T-35s? I mean, that would probably make more sense to be honest. And there you go. About to lose a Panther. He needs to blitz. He needs to blitz. Blitzkrieg. Veteran free game. Oh, got lucky. And there you go. The Ace T-35 is down. Abandoned, but still down. That's 2 Veteran 3 Panther 4s, by the way, here for CN. That is probably his best shot now to turn the game around against Talisman, having taken out not just the 76, but more importantly the AT-35s there. Talisman there pushing his luck a bit too far versus CN, but can CN take advantage of this, momentous situation. And again, adding a Panther right now would I think be a strong move. He could also just go for another Panther 4, but the T-35, or the Panther would be better versus the T-35s. And he goes for the Panther, very good, so good, so good. Sturm Punish joining the repairs on the Panther force here by the Mechanized Regiment. Wrecking the wreckage of the Panther over the gaps. He's attempting to use an anti-tank rifle. This is going to be a slow process. We got 187 versus 236. Fultz moving out. There you go. Grenade on the Fultz Grenadiers. Kenner for landing ahead on the HT-7 with 19 kills. Panther halfway done. First Panther 4 about done here for CN and the 5th SS. Oberson getting matching 3. We got to get battle out in the penal troopers, and pop goes the Weasel. Panther almost down there for CN. T-3585 number 2 on the way for Talisman to make up for the loss he suffered after his H-35 has arrived. Ace, oh, not Ace, that's Veteran 5 there for the Walker S, but then Ace, Veteran 3, Panther 4 sitting out back with the L1 in repairs, and there you go. Panther arriving here for CN. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Halfway to Ace Little on that, T-35 though. T-35. Decent ring up and game like Kedden there for, and the MG-54, there you go. Panther 4 going for the T-35. Shoots. Panther ramming as well with its high velocity 75 and gun, of course 18 minutes of sloped armour. And getting the T-35, Panther will take quite a few hits, need to be careful with that one. CN getting quite a few hits, and there goes looking top maneuver. He needs to be mindful of mines, but it seems like Talisman hasn't mined the area here, so that's quite lucky for him, but still trying to go for a deep flank. There you go, prioritising the H-35 in this case. Panther wing from the front, need to get the on moving in. There you go, Veteran 4. In fact, he needs to get on out before it gets lost, and it's like to get lost on. There you go. CN pushes luck too far there. Gets close to the base. There we go. Panther about to go down. Bit of a waste there, to be honest, by CN. And of course, he's trying to manage a lot of things at the same time. Pushing his Panther rather far here. And he gets the H-35. That's everything going to deny. Talisman from long range firepower versus the Panther. But he needs to get the Panther out of there. Schnell, he needs to blitz it. And there you go. Panther 4 covering up. Ooh, shot bounce. That was pretty lucky. Oh, used to had enough health. There you go. He's going to ram it. Blitz. Oh, he can't. He gets the T-35, but his engine is damaged. T-35 there he's moving up close to the Ace level. He's moving in. The Panther provided a finishing shot there against the T-35. He's playing pretty risky there, but CN knows he has to, at least risk a bit here, I think. Pulling back his Panthers. A brutal arm engagement between Talisman and CN with heavy losses on both sides, and then CN seems to prevail just a bit versus Talisman, who can, though, of course, reasonably quickly replace losses. T-7 is sweeping in and taking advantage of the lack of any sort of major armour here now to cause grief and harm there to CN's infantry. Popping another valiant, so it seems, though I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. I'll wait. Panther's in repairs halfway to Veteran 2 already just from that brutal engagement here. And of course, and again, Talisman most of his armour of the medium kind. Bun grenade here, Veteran 3 Obersoldaten. Valiant sort of suddenly making them much more efficient infantry. Holy smokes, that Veteran 4 Panther 4 almost take out the guard squad with one hit. Good God. Panther there being fixed up. Victory points wise 87 versus 236. So he needs to focus on the victory points. I also think he needs to remember the one in the west rather than just the one in the centre. There we go. Panther fixed for the fatherland. Talisman getting ready to launch another assault in the centre here, partly because, of course, we can get that means he's at all 3 victory points, which of course is going to mean CN's going to bleed out fast, but also keeps CN's attention in the centre, ensuring he doesn't push for the other victory points, which is also great there for Talisman, since again that means he can just focus everything on the centre. But there you go, CN there seems to have woken up to his inner flanker, and he's now bringing out the Panther here again. Kind of risky. I mean, he could, Talisman could have potentially laid down mines, but still going to try and maneuver his opponent then, so just attack head on with the Panther. That's definitely the right approach. So again, mines from team to back up, and a bit of injury would be good, I think, just in case of a mine. Guttering up there, tanks clashing out there as well. Satchel charge off there, pushing back a full screen score, almost taking out the entire unit. So much going on here again. Panther very close, ready to Guardsmen there, holding up. Machine gun left behind here by CN and the 5th SS. Panther 4 moving in, closing on the Ace limb. In fact, it's halfway there. Penals was going to flank the Panther with a satchel charge. Nice work there by Talisman. Nice work. And there goes. Anti-tanks out of charge off on the Panther 4. Won't take it out, but it's going to keep it out of the fight there. And there we go. Against the ace little penal trooper squad. In fact, almost taken out. It's an ace Panther 4 on the field here. Veteran 2 Panther here versus the ace T-55. So many armored aces. Need to get the Panther out of there, though. Need to get the Panther out of there. Garsman moving ahead here. 13 kills back here. Troops repairing the Panther 4. Need to get out. Possibly a bit of moment to back things up. And right now, Talisman does have the infantry advantage over CN with 5 squads versus CN's 4. Actually, he's got 5 as well. Oh, no, mind them. They're obviously, Volkswagen just don't quite compare to Garsman. So again, arguably CN could do with another Obersoldaten squad or maybe some Fallschirmjägers. T-70 again on the work. Then again, another Valiant Assault. He's very consistently tricking it, which is a bit surprising. You normally figure players would go for Airborne Assault, but I mean, Valiant Assault is a pretty good ability if you know how to use it, particularly in stuff like the Obersoldaten and such. So nice work there. 60 points versus the 228 of Talisman. There we go, moving westwards, and of course Valiant Assault will cause the troops to move faster, so you can quickly sprint them towards the western victory point. Orbison in the centre, almost taking that. Oh dear. Panther 4 moving up here. Oh, the Obersoldaten got wiped. A crucial blow there to CN, certainly put him now. Load the amount of infantry that Talisman has, instead of something he's Mount Fluff. Ace Panther 4 about to go down. Scheiße. Blitzes away, Panther moving to cover there. We got 40 kills from the Ace Panther 4. There you go, Panther blasts away, but hits a mine. Oh, Scheiße, trying to save the Panther 4. He might have lost the Panther in the process. That would be rather devastating. On the centre of the Kevin up here with the T-70, the ace there. Panther getting pinged out there by a lot of light anti-tank rifles. Another hit on the T-70 by Kednaffer. Panther falls back for repairs, so Kevin needs to get out of there. The situation is starting to deteriorate once more here for CN. In the face of Talisman and the 10th Mechanized Corps. Panther 4 being fixed up. Panther is hauling itself back to the fuel or mechanized regiment. He also needs to reinforce the Sturmpine. He's going to insist on repairing the tanks and get them back into the fight faster. Because the longer they sit about doing nothing, the worse it is for CN. Of course, the greatest for Talisman. There you go. T-55 ace. Got a Volkswagen leader squad. Quite a blow there. TCN and the German army standing just 3 infantry squads versus Talisman's 5. That is actually really worrying there for CN, who's actually going for another Panther 4. He's not, too obsessed with King Tigers. But he needs more infantry now. He is definitely short-staffed here versus Talisman. And with, more tanks and more importantly, more veteran armor, that amount of infantry is, I think, not going to cut in the longer run. Garsman in the dirt here, ready to try and repel any assault into the cemetery here by CN and the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking. In these, we've got the T-70 moving up, straight to the Kedneff, who's holding up there. Need some arm support down. Then we got the Panther 4 moving in. Second Panther 4 on the move as well. Ooh, main gun out. He's almost got him for one, but looks like it's going to escape once more. Ace Panther 4 in there, opening up the Garton's first shot misses. Second one likely will have a bit more impact to once the second Panther 4 run. There you go. Yuri blown to bits. There you go. Guard squad almost gone. And there you go. Almost wiped. He's going to try and end the point neutral. Oh dear, we could see actually a guard squad go down there. That'd be certainly helpful for CN. That would be a bit of blow to Talisman to lose one of his ace guardsmen. And there you go. Wiped. Another issue 5 there for Talisman and the Red Army. Guards continuing in the watch here on the centre victory point. Western one is now also being guarded by penal troopers. CN still needs more infantry, but certainly he's got a sizable armoured force. Something to be reckoned with. Panther 4's attacking to the west side here, or from the eastern side into the centre there. Catching the guard squad in the cover there, and go blasting away there. We got 43 kills, 5 kills. Panther we have to support as well here. T-4's going to be engaged by that one. Grenades off. Guardsmen are being hammered here by the centre victory point by the Panther 4s. They are tearing them apart here. Talisman's infantry lords are now piling up. There he goes, trying to go in with the T-4. Might have made a mistake here. He's trying to contest the point because he's got his opponent down so low there, but he actually makes a miscalculation of the graver ones. Basically, the sort of short-term thing that can happen. I'm actually surprised he tries to make this mistake, but basically, thinking, okay, if we just buy more time, it doesn't matter. But instead, he ends up throwing away an ace T-45, opening up the floodgates here for CN's armoured force. And there you go. The T-70 falls shortly after the T-45, and now Talisman all of a sudden has taken heavy casualties. The situation is rapidly deteriorating, in part just due to a bad call here, but also I think it's maybe gotten a bit too passive versus CN. And it's certainly something CN has been more than happy to take advantage of. Panther takes another hit from the Initiative 5, grabbing the eastern victory point. Of course, he needs to control more than one victory point. That could show the chance of Talisman to get back into this. But right now, CN packs a lot more armoured firepower, and that's going to be a trigger there. He's going for a 4th Panther 4, though. He's down to just 2 infantry squads, and the problem is for CN, his tanks can't take points. So even if he's got 4 Panther 4s and can deal theoretically with most Talisman infantry and tanks, if he can't hold the points, it doesn't matter. And he's down to just 17 points. 16, of course, and this again we can sort of see is probably why Talisman's willing to trade away the T-55, because again he figured if I just again somehow stall for long enough, again I win. And he's almost got down to opponent to 15, so again could have worked out possibly. H opening up the Ace Panther 4 there, butting it up as well, but got the other Panther 4 going for it. Panther there, close eventually free. Jab's also got 1 Panther 4, and there you go, the Panther 4 goes down, depleting one of CN's armoured forces. He's still short on infantry though. And that is giving Talisman, who's got slightly more infantry, a bit more free reign. He's going for a field gun as well. Another hit from the Initiative 5, and the Panther 4 guard backing up, or penalty backing up, and showing he can't discharge it. And if he tries, he might risk getting hit by an anti-tank rifle. There you go. CN's going to push for it anyways. He has to end it. And Initiative 5 suddenly is a dangerous opponent, but it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. And the Initiative 5 takes out the Panther 4. Oh my goodness. It was looking like CN just had this in the bag, and instead Talisman is just back with a vengeance. He could still have this one though. His opponent's down just 13 points. He just lost 2 tanks, including an Ace Panther 4. And he's still... Oh, he's finally bringing up some more infantry, but will it be enough now? There you go. He gets the Initiative 5, but still, the situation is precarious. CN's lost most of his armour, so again, and he's not still got a lot of infantry, so he could go out of the way, honestly. But still might be that CN is somewhat favoured. He kind of threw away a lot of his edge. So notice this highlights how dangerous a well-handled Initiative 5 tank destroyer can be. Almost got the Sturmpioneers there. Fieldgun joining in. He's pushing for the centre one. He should... Yeah, he's sneaking up something. He needs to deal with the right one. Good work. And again, CN needs more infantry. Infanterie! Panther's just trying to get repaired. It's so close to getting free, but it doesn't matter now. I do feel like that extra Panther was a mistake. He's just added more infantry. He shouldn't have thrown away his tanks then. Again, he should have focused more on the other victory points rather than the centre one. I mean, he still can win this, possibly, but it's looking kind of dicey. I mean, he's about to grab the centre one, at which point, again, he's only got like little time there to get this in order with. He's moving troops westwards. Might have a chance there. Oh dear. 12 points left for CN and the German army. Going at the Panther, and the Panther towards the centre there. He should actually go for the other points. I feel like this is a bad call because he tanks straight into an anti-tank position that is reasonably well positioned there by Talisman. With his tanks from infantry support, this is usually not how you want to do it. In fact, that's the job for infantry to clear out. In fact, that was the Panther going to do his job, to back up an anti-tank armoured assault and clear out with all the threats like, anti-tank line. He got one penalty squad, or guard squad there, with the Panther crashing in and gunning down machine like Ken recruit here. Infantry moving up here, banning assault there. He's allowing to pull through, but can he grab it in time? He got 3 points left. Oh, he's moving up there. Oh, Ken ready to neutral the field and something's getting time. 1 point left. Ah, shite. Holy shit, he did it. 1 point left for CN. He's still in this. He's still in this. And this is starting to look like an hour-long match. And CN's still in it with 1 victory point left. Those valiant assaults, by the again, are really paying off for him. I mean, it's really close at times, but, it's a good ability. Close as hell, though. Talisman's forces are a bit depleted. He's, he's got plenty of time. So right now, Talisman thinks he's just, look to ensure he doesn't bleed out too fast and focus on rebuilding his force and slowly bleeding out CN again and then make the push. But of course, he could get impatient, try just to finish this fast, even when his force is not ready for it, and that could then give, CN another chance and ensure he doesn't lose, because right now, one mistake or one brilliant, exceptional move there from Talisman and CN's out of this. Panther's rushing in there. Close to it, he's charging in there. He's trying to deal with the infantry. There you go. He's crushing them. He's gunning them down. There you go. You need to bring up the Sturmpioneers can deal with that. The gaps will be the bigger problem. More penalties on the way there for Talisman. Close to actually feeling the Panther. Taking heavy damage. He's marked it as well there. I think the engineers might also have some anti-tank rifles in their hands. Yes, indeed. Virtually free Sturmpioniere. Guarding the eastern field point as well. He can't risk getting to lose any point now. For any prolonged period of time, he's got all 3 points. Moving for the western one. We got a valiant assault again. He's just boosting his troops' capabilities to the max every moment he can when it makes sense. Rushing to the points and others just fighting fervently for the fatherland. Sturmpioniers charging it again. Virtually free with valiant assault. I'll definitely have a problem there for the Sturmpioniers, in particular backed up with the Panthers and machine guns as well. People are taking losses. Fulton's rushing up. He could pop a concussive grenade. You get the nation's fort. There you go. Fulton is joining in as well here. Get the Sturmpioniers up close with their low on health. Can't afford to lose them. But there you go. He wins. He wins. Still 1 point left versus the 195 there of Talisman again. Talisman needs to be careful not to get too impatient. But again, he could be very well this sort of point here where he might get that. Still 1 point versus 188. 55 minutes. We are slowly approaching the 1 minute mark. 1 hour mark, not 1 minute mark. We're far beyond the 1 minute mark. Far beyond that. Troops are healing, reinforcing, trying to push for the western one. Rather than fighting the... Well, cemetery has been quite quickly been filled up with corpses. There you go, Talisman's getting a tank. Not a T-55, but the T-5476. A bit cheaper and a bit faster in the field. I imagine Talisman just want to get up something quickly and then just, rush the points. Another option actually be theoretically a half track. Could quickly pop something, rush a point, seize it, and then move on to the next point. Possibly. He's lining up for something in the west point as well. Heavy mortar might just be carrying the centre one, peppering it with mortar rounds to keep seeing, thinking there's something's going to happen here maybe. Could use smoke screens, in fact, for just exact that purpose. Throw down the smoke and he makes him think it's happening there and then rush the other 2 points. T-5476 almost done there for Talisman. A bit of quiet here. Seeing is trying to catch his breath. His Panzer was ready. His veteran free Panther's also fixed up. I mean, seeing there, taking advantage of the Talisman's slightly increasingly erratic movements. Again, he's getting impatient. He wants to finish this, but again, it's causing him to make these sort of, wrong decisions. Of course, again, even with those wrong decisions, he was pretty close to winning this. I mean, he just perhaps done things slightly differently. He probably could have won this by now, but again, if he kind of end up with some short-term decisions, he can swing the game in favour of the opponent. There we go. Western point they're secured. Moving eastwards here, Fulton is defending the eastern victory point. Yeah, he's rushing both of them. And again, he could have used the heavy mortar to get into Frodo's push. He could have used this to create, I think, more effective diversion. There you go. Both points they're seized. Can he defend in time? He got valiant assault. He's rushing from the east, centre towards the east. He has to defend the centre as well there. At the same time, got the Panther rushing westward to deal with the guardsman there. Oh no. There's only 1 point left in his control. If Talisman manages to seize the other one here as well, it's going to be... goes rushing. The T-54's going to try and keep away there. But Talisman's... seems to go over them, not to doubt there too. There you go. He's almost got the T-5476. T-56 trying to keep them off the point here. But there's one guy still standing. And there you go. It's down. It's down. In the west, troops being pushed out here by the Panzer IV. And there he does pop the smoke screen. It's a bit too late here. A bit too late. We should have gone for it. So there goes satchel charge on the Panther. But it's still there. It's still there. Damn it. Absolutely brutal fight right here on Lost Glider. MD-54 on the way there for CN. Back here, troops in reinforcing. T-54 number 2 on the way there for Talisman. Or no, first one in a sense, considering what he's got at the moment. Okay, we're sending about here by the victory point. Again, he's trying to ensure control of them, though the centre's actually now really open. 100 points left for Talisman, and 99 points, 97. Panzer's resuming repairs. Another machine gun out there for CN at this stage to help control the points. Very good idea. Very good. T-54 done. Talisman's forces are still understaffed. Again, he's just trying to make these quick jabs to somehow finish the fight. Certainly a pretty position. Points are being guarded fervently in the centre of the full gun it is. 75 points left for Talisman. Guardsman T-54 moving for the western one, like Kevin for nearby. I gotta say, it's the first time I've seen someone just use Luftwaffe ground forces just for valiant assault. I mean, that's something else. I mean, you gotta give CN these for this, not playing, so to say, the fully usual Overquest meta. There's certainly some signs of a more usual one. Russian Eastern one again, but there's so many German from nearby. We got the Veteran 4 Sturm Pioneer as well, which are really good actually. Panther moving up, they're close to Veteran 4. T4 with the Kidnapper. We got 51 points left here for Talisman versus CN's 1 point. T4 forced him against the full scum. Engaged here by the Panther 4. Panther moving in there, close to Veteran 4. T4 476 falling back here. Nice hit on the T-Fed 4 there by the Panther. 37 points left. Another T-Fed 476 away for Talisman, but can he keep the first one alive long enough? No, he can't. Actually looked like he was trying to ram, but that didn't work out. And there you go. Panther gains 24, takes up Talisman's T-Fed 476. 1 hour long match, and it's looking to be longer than 1 hour. Good God. No, not a lot longer. Usually, if it goes too far along an hour, usually I'll just not bother. But you know, a few minutes more than an hour can usually look past that. Oh wait, another patch 4 there for CN. He said he's got enough infantry now to fight against his opponent. 28 versus 1. CN has managed a absolutely heroic defense here in the last moments of the game here in the end. They can imagine he must be utterly on edge here. T-Fed Foster coming in, the Panther right into the base. He's looking to disrupt and sure. I think the Talisman cannot launch an assault anytime soon. Reclaim any more of the points. He's moving on forward. Just want to claim the victory point here. And he's trying to defend these from one of them. Machine certainly helping with that. Panther moving in towards the centre here. Panther 4 close to Veteran 2, or closing in on it. 19 versus 1. Pins was almost wiped out. 18 versus 1. 17 versus 1. 15. Panther 4 arrives. Can Talisman win this now? 13. Panther's moving in. He's just going to keep up pressure on Talisman. 9. 7. Panther is doing up with the T-Fed 476. 4. GG, and I hate this map. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people love Lost Glide as such, but there you go. Game over. An absolutely grueling and brutal 1 versus 1 right here in Lost Glide. An absolutely epic slasher of a fight, a real barn burner of a match. Absolutely outstanding work here by both CN and Talisman. In the end, though, Talisman, I think, got a bit too impatient again versus the end and rather opened himself up for CN to hit back hard and stabilise the situation at 1 victory point. Absolutely amazing. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. And if you like what I do, you can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links are in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You all have a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.